The Sunrise Interview is sponsored by Elk Valley Casino, Crescent City.
Welcome back. Now coming up, you can see some characters that seem awfully familiar, but like you've never seen them before. Cabaret Risque presents The Wizard of Oz at Collaborative Theater Project for the next 2 Saturdays. Joining us this morning is Lady Red to tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning, Emily. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what can people expect these next 2 weekends?
Oh gosh, well, expect the unexpected. This production it's going to be familiar to you in some ways, but very, very, very new and original in others. I would say come with an open mind and maybe a little bit inebriated.
And so what inspired the concept of the show?
Yeah, so it was definitely inspired by like my love of Wizard of Oz. I've loved the production since I was a child, but it's also very much inspired by SNL. Whenever we took on this project, we were gonna go with a more serious tone, but we just very, very quickly were like, no, let's make this entirely sarcastic, actually. So yeah, it's an entire production that is completely satire.
And so leaning into that comedy, what do you think that adds to the show?
I think it adds like a new perspective on the show. I think that The Wizard of Oz being shot 100 years ago, a lot of things have changed. So we've implemented a lot of modernity to it, I would say.
I love that. And so what first got you into performing drag?
Oh gosh. Well, my first interest ever in drag was actually Elvira. So it was just me as a little kid looking at that and being like, I have no idea what that was. Like this gorgeous, funny, sarcastic woman, like with all of this makeup on and all of this hair. I'm obsessed with it. And then later on, Dolly Parton. But then whenever I became a young adult, kind of going out on my own, I started to go to drag clubs and I was like, oh, this is what I want to do with my life. Like these fabulous entities, I need to do that.
Absolutely, and now you get to be that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what has been the Rogue Valley's reception to your performances?
Honestly, I moved here last July and I was a little bit scared because the Rogue Valley tends to be kind of conservative, but we've had nothing but like fabulous responses to what we do. We usually sell out. It's usually just a really good time for everybody, you know?
Yeah, and so what does this upcoming performance, being able to collaborate them, what does that do for the community?
I think it gives the community more space, you know, more allowance to do kind of sillier, more fun things. I think that it definitely uplifts the LGBTQ community here and just kind of brings everybody together.
And what do you hope that people take away or feel from the show?
I hope you take away just joy and love, and I hope that everybody just has a really good time.
And do you have anything coming up personally that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so we do First Fridays at the Columbia Hotel. I know I've seen you there before. That's every first Friday at the Columbia Hotel. Next week on the 18th, we'll also be in Wairika for Night of the Living Drag Queens. So
amazing. And then is there anything else you'd like to tell us before you say goodbye today?
No, I just really, really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Thank you, Lady Red.
Thank you.
Well, as they said, The Wizard of Oz is a copyright-free drag musical, plays at the Collaborative Theater Project in the Medford Center this Saturday and next. The doors open at 7 and the fun begins at 8. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. To get your tickets now, search The Wizard of Oz on Eventbrite. Red, thank you again so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we'll be right back.